USC versus Oregon is the game of the week. This is the Super Bowl for both of these two teams. The winner keeps their college football playoff hopes alive, and the loser, maybe if Oregon loses, they still have a shot at getting in, but you gotta feel the loser probably is eliminated completely from being in the playoff conversation. Oregon is a 10.5 point favorite going into this game, and there's a lot of talk, a lot of belief that Oregon is going to win this game and it's going to be a pretty emphatic victory. But I think that what USC has on offense, the 7-Eleven, the wide receivers, Makai Lemon, Jacoby Lane, I call them 7-Eleven because they're always open, are going to be the difference in USC being able to hang around with Oregon and possibly walking out of Autzen with the win. Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane, it's hard to have a secondary good enough to shut down these two receivers. These are arguably the best receivers in the Big Ten, not named Jeremiah Smith and Cornell Tate. And also, both of these guys are going to be playing against on Sundays. Makai Lemon is a lock for the first round. Jacoby Lane more than likely would be a round 2, round 3 guy, or maybe he could go in the first round. There aren't too many defenses that have the personnel in the secondary to be able to shut down USC's passing attack. Now, if you want to go back to USC's loss against Notre Dame, look at that loss with some context. USC lost that game because Jaden Mayava had an off night. He just was completely out of rhythm. And he also had a few costly turnovers. When Jaden Mayava plays clean football, USC can beat anybody on their schedule. And Oregon, I still don't really believe that Oregon is the team that they're thought out to be. Because who have they really proven to suggest that they're 10.5 points better than USC? USC has been more battle-tested this season than what Oregon has. They played better competition. They beat Michigan. They also played a really good Notre Dame team on the road. They beat the same Iowa team that Oregon barely walked away with the win against. And the last time we saw Oregon play up against a quality passing attack, Indiana was carving up their secondary. USC's passing attack is better than what Indiana's passing attack is due to them having this 7-Eleven combo and Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane at wide receiver. These two guys are solely going to be the main catalyst for why USC is going to be able to hang around in this game. Yes, we know that Oregon has a really good rushing attack and that USC's defense has struggled stopping the run all year long. But even if Oregon is able to completely take this game over and dominate the line of scrimmage, that doesn't mean that USC is going to be able to get some points on their own. USC's offense is just too good for a defense like Oregon to completely erase them. You just have too much firepower on the perimeter of this game. And yes, in the Big Ten, you got to be able to establish your dominance on the line of scrimmage. But USC on the line of scrimmage, they're not too far off. Yes, compared to the rest of the Big Ten, USC probably is above average on the line of scrimmage, but you can still win the way that USC has been accustomed to winning with Lincoln Riley's philosophy, which is USC beating you up with Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane. Yes, there's a certain style that you got to have to win the Big Ten, but USC has shown this year that their style of football can win. They don't have to completely change who they are. They don't have to be Michigan or Iowa, an old school throwback Big Ten kind of team to win in this conference. They've already beaten some of the schools that a lot of people thought they would lose to before this season began. Now, I still like Oregon to win, but I don't love them to cover at all. I like USC to cover, and I wouldn't be shocked if USC walked away with the win, but I'm giving Oregon the W solely based off how hard it is to win in Autzen. They barely lose in this place. And also, I do believe that when the game is on the line, their pass rush will be able to get some big hits and get some big stops on Jaden Mayava, get him down on the ground, and eventually that will be the difference in this game. But as far as everything else goes, I think that USC definitely has some matchups that favor them being able to keep this game close and possibly pulling off the upset. And if USC was fully healthy, I don't even think that Oregon would be a 10.5-point favorite like what they are right now. USC has injuries on the offensive line. They got a few guys banked up on defense. But with what they have at receiver, they will be able to keep this game close.